I should have watched the Monogatari series sooner, and I don't know why I held off watching it for so long, but after finally watching it, I realized what a masterpiece could truly be. All the characters have real struggles and regrets that make them feel like real people, and all their oddities are just an extension of their struggles and stress. And the animation is some of the best I have ever seen. It looks crazy most of the time, but it fits the setting of the world really well. The writing can be really witty to the point that it could be confusing to follow for most people since a lot of the stuff doesn't really translate well to English. Every character's witty dialogue makes a lot of great character moments, and it shows that some of them are hiding their true feelings behind a mask, like Kombaru, who is one of the biggest offenders of that. Each character goes through 2 arcs throughout the course of the series, introducing us to the characters and their problems. But the first arc doesn't solve their problems, instead it only temporarily deals with them until they inevitably come back again. Like with Hanekawa, instead of trying to help her out, Koyomi only delays the inevitable comeback of Black Hanekawa and another oddity altogether, an angry tiger. And in the start of the second arc, Hanekawa starts to sleep in the abandoned building because her house was burned down and she doesn't feel like she is a part of her family. Until Sensho Gahara comes and finds her and takes her to her place where they have a good time and Hanekawa truly learns what it means to have a family and a home. Kako is so powerful, Hanekawa has to rely on Black Hanekawa to defeat it, but even she is no match for the manifestation, so instead Koyomi helps by destroying the oddity and helping Hanekawa deal with her stress. Each arc tackles something deep inside every character, like the anger and jealousy Kombaru felt towards Koyomi for always being with Senjogahara. Kombaru was Senjogahara's best friend a few years ago, even to the point that she fell in love with her, but after Senjogahara went through all of her struggles with the crab oddity and her family, Kombaru wasn't there, so she became more distant and eventually got mad at Koyomi to the point that she tried to kill him. The animation of the Monogatari series is amazing, with all the cuts to those screens that show Koyomi's thoughts to the combat scenes, and even the scenes where characters are trying to psych Koyomi and you out. The animation is always good, and the world consistently looks amazing with all the characters in it. Each and every character fits well in the world and the scene that they are in, and the lighting helps convey feelings that are going through certain characters' minds during a specific scene. Sometimes the animation is so good, some scenes look like real videos put in specific areas of the show. The Monogatari series uses so many different animation techniques to try to convey feelings of certain characters as well as to show off how certain characters deal with those emotions. The story of the Monogatari series is good because it relies on the characters to make it amazing, and each character we meet plays a big role in the story eventually, even if you think that they're only an obstacle for a single arc. Like with Kaiki, he was just the antagonist of an arc, but then the next time we see him, he plays a big role in solving the problem of the arc. Or Shinobu in the movies is the antagonist, but that Koyomi and Hanekawa have to overcome. But by the time the show starts, Shinobu is no longer a threat. The Monogatari series is an anime I think everyone needs to watch, because you can never tell if a character is telling the truth or not. Sometimes they leave you to try and solve the puzzle alongside Koyomi, and the characters, every time a character says something, you have to take it with a grain of salt and use that information to solve the problem. And the series is also good because in the end, there is no hero of the Monogatari series, except for in the characters themselves. The Monogatari series tells you in the first arc that there is no hero, that no one can help you except for yourself. Koyomi is only there to give you a guiding hand to each of the girls in the series, but each of them have to solve the problems on their own. The best part of watching the show is trying to solve each problem before the characters could, and it made the show fun because some of the information you were working with could have been false, and that would make it wrong. In the end, the Monogatari series is just one fun puzzle and is hard to solve, but once it is solved, it is very satisfying, and that is why the Monogatari series is a masterpiece among masterpieces.